Today on Ask the First Selectman, our guest John Zagrodzky is here to answer your questions. And we got one about the RTM voting to approve the town budget. However, the question is the chairman of the Finance and Budget Committee at that meeting predicted 4.5 to 5% increases in spending over the next 3 or 4 years. And this questioner asks, do you agree with his predictions? John?
Good question. So the chairman of F&B, which is an RTM subcommittee, is Mr. Jack Davis. I've known him for 15 years at least. He is not just a good friend, but he's a good friend of the town. And I'm regularly impressed by his preparedness, his delivery style, his ability to interact with the RTM. He's a great town citizen, and I'm glad he's in the role that he's in. So I kind of agree with him, and let me explain why. So the first part is that we're going to face some increasing debt service over the next few years. The debt service was up this year about 24%, and that reflects a layering in of debt service for both schools as well as the town. So on the school side, it was Oxridge and the Henley Holmes Royal renovation work. And on the town side, of course, we're starting to pay debt service on some of the Great Island debt. Next year, actually, the debt service is going to go up another 10%. And the reason for that is, again, more of this debt that we've incurred is now coming up for servicing, which means we have to start paying principal and interest, and we need cash to do that. And that comes from taxes. So for the next 2 or 3 years, certainly, we're going to kind of have a full layering in of debt service for the debt we've been taking on. There's going to be some future debt in the next 5 years, both on Great Island, as well as prospectively a renovation at the Middlesex Middle School, which has not been done since the late 1990s. So as a town, we're facing another sort of 3 or 4 years of increasing debt levels before things stabilize and we start to pay them down. So as a result of that, just the debt service portion of our overall budget is going to continue to put pressure on us. I do foresee a stabilization of all that. So call it after the Middlesex renovation, and there's a debate as to when that's going to take place, but call it 2030, maybe say 5 years from now. We kind of start to run out of big projects to spend money on. I think at some point there will have to be a renovation of the high school. Believe it or not, that high school is 20 years old this year. I can hardly believe it myself, but another 5 or 10 years, even that school is going to need some work. So apart from that, I think our debt situation is going to stabilize a lot, and you'll start to see debt service drop back down again. But as I said, we're going to be under some pressure for a while. But setting that aside, Jack is right for another reason, which is we continue to face pressure to increase salaries and benefits. Keep in mind that there are a lot of town employees, as well as Department of, or Board of Education employees, teachers and others, that do not live here. And as attractive as Darien is as a place to work, those folks have to commute to come down here, and it's not easy. And so making sure that we pay those individuals to agree to commute and make Darien their professional home is something that's important. But also we want to make sure that we attract the best staff, no matter what we're talking about, whether it's police or town employees or our teachers or even our administrators. I think we would all agree we want to make sure that we have the best staff possible, and that costs money. And so I think Jack's prediction is probably right. I will tell you that between Jack, Jim Palin, our Board of Finance chairman, me, and a cast of thousands, we will pinch pennies until they scream and make sure that whatever actually gets proposed is as tight as we can make it and as transparent as we can make it. So if you've got questions at any time during the budget process or over the course of the year and you're worried about taxes or spending, give any one of us a call. I'll be able to talk about this in detail and let you know both why these increases are happening and what we're doing to control them.
John Zagrodzky, our first selectman, answering your questions. If you have one, send it along to us and we will ask it on your behalf. Just email us at dariantv79@gmail.com.